If you wanted to live off your dividends and invest inside the S&P 500 with a 1.1% dividend yield, you would need over $3 million in order to make $30,000 per year in dividends. So you would need a large lump of sum of money, or if you wanted to dollar cost average that out over time, it would take you over 50 years in order to live off of your dividends by investing inside the S&P 500. So in this video, dreamers, I'm going to show you guys the quickest way to get over $30,000 per year in dividends, or a little bit over $2,800 per month. And I'm going to show you guys the quickest way. So make sure that you hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. And I think YouTube might have shadow banned me. So if you hit that notification bell, guys, if you can hit that notification bell, that will help out this channel more than you could possibly even imagine. And it's completely free to hit that notification bell, because the information I'm about to give you guys in this video, they don't want you to know, and I don't want you to miss out on this information. So go ahead, hit that thumbs up button, that notification bell, and subscribe. But enough talking, let's go ahead and dive straight into this video. All right, dreamers, so the easiest way to calculate your dividends is by looking at the dividend yield. So the higher a company dividend yield is, the more that you're making dividends per month, per quarter, per year, right? So the S&P 500, otherwise known as SPY, ticker symbol SPY, they're known for their growth. If we look at their growth over the last 5 years, they are up 94%. But what they're not known for is their dividends, right? So if you invest inside the S&P 500, you're looking for growth, not so much on their dividends. So they have a 1.1% dividend yield. And the easiest way to calculate that out is if you was to invest $3 million and they have a 0.111 dividend yield, you'll make around $33,300 in a year just from looking at the yield. So one of the quickest ways that you could increase your dividend payment per month or per quarter or per year is by looking at a higher dividend yield. And a lot of people are starting to gravitate towards these yield max companies. And then today I'm going to give you guys two different situations. I'm going to give you guys a yield max company, and then I'm going to give you guys exactly what I'm doing with SCHD in order for me to live off of my dividends a lot quicker. So I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks in this video to maximize your dividend yields and to get returns faster, so you don't have to wait 50 years in order to live off your dividends. So the first thing that we're going to come to is that the company that a lot of people are investing into is QQQI. It is a high yield ETF. And right now, if we go back to, they follow the Qs, right? They follow the triple Qs right here. If we look at the triple Qs, if we go to their summary right here and scroll down, you guys can see the year to date, they're up 24%. They're very heavily involved inside the technology sector. In fact, more than 50% of their company, this ETF, invest inside of technology companies. And then you guys could look at the rest. The other 17% is in communications and then consumers. And this is their top 10 holdings. They got Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Broadcom. So they're very heavily involved inside of the technology sector. And then if we look at the summary, of course, the last year, they're up 24%. And over the last 5 years, guys, check this out, they're up 113%. And then over the last 10 years, of course, they're up 445%. So that's around average 44% per year just from the growth of technology stocks. But if we come over to their dividends, you guys can see that they have the smallest dividend yields. So it's not a dividend paying company. But if you do want to invest inside a fast growing ETF like QQQ and get some dividends from them, what you do is you type in the high yield part of it, which is QQQI. And if we come down to their dividends, you guys can see that they have a 13.79% dividend yield, which is a double-digit dividend yield, which is completely insane. And let me explain to you guys exactly how they do that. But before I show you guys how they have a 13% dividend yield, other than having to have a $3 million account, if you had $250,000 and you multiply that out by 13.79%, now you're bringing in over $34,000 per year in dividends. And with $250,000, which you could dollar cost average into that a lot faster than $3 million. And I'm gonna show you guys another tip and trick to get you there even quicker in this video. So let me explain to you guys how QQQ is able to have a 13% dividend yield. So what they're doing is with the stocks that's inside of their portfolio, all the technology stocks that's growing really, really fast, they have hundreds of thousands of shares of these companies, and they're selling covered calls. They're running options on the shares that's inside of the company. It is an actively managed ETF, and they're selling covered calls, and they're generating income every single month just from selling covered calls. And what they're looking for, they're aiming to make around 1% a month, like 1.2% a month. And that averages out to around like 13% a year from selling covered calls. I've shown you guys how to sell covered calls on this channel before. If you want to learn how to sell your own covered calls and bring in way more than 13%, yeah, we're doing around maybe 4, sometimes 5% a month. And we're on track to do like 25% this year. So other than looking at 13% from selling their covered calls, from us running the wheel strategy inside of the Patreon, we're doing around like 25, 27, 28% on average this year. In fact, if I could show you guys right now we're up this year alone $27,920. And right now I'm teaching everyone inside of the Dream Team. There's a code down in the description for 50% off. It's called Dream 50. You just take that code, you can sign up, get 50% off. And I teach you guys the wheel strategy, the same thing that QQQI is doing, except for we're generating a lot more income because we're not looking for 1% a month. We're looking for 3, 4, 5% a month gains. And we've been on track doing that every single month. So if you guys do want to learn the wheel strategy, how to sell cash and puts, how to sell covered calls, be sure to use that code while the code lasts and join the Dream Team. And you'll also be a part of my Zoom calls that comes every single Sunday. And those classes are very small, so it's only 5 spots remaining. I try to keep the classes very small, so it's more of a one-on-one situation and not a class of 100 students. And you'll also be a part of the Lucid Dreamers, where I have 7 pro day traders in there that post their option trades every single day, and they be killing it. They do things I can't do when it comes to day trading. I am a real strategy trader, but when it comes to day trading, they be absolutely killing it in there. So if you want access to their trades, make sure that you check out the link to Patreon down in the description. That'll take you to my Discord, where you get everything, my master course, everything that you guys need to know. Yeah, Dreamers, we're back. So yeah, QQQI, they're selling covered calls to generate extra income. And I'm going to show you guys how much you can make from that just from investing around $20 every single day. So let's come to our dividend calculator. We're going to type in QQQI that has a 13.79% dividend yield. And let's say we just started off with 10 shares and we're investing $20 a day. So that's around $5,200 a month. They pay out their dividends monthly, and we're going to reinvest our dividends. Now, this is the tip and trick, is that once you start to reinvest your dividends, the dividends that you're going to get paid out from these companies is going to add up to be more than the $20 that you're investing every single day. And eventually you don't have to invest $20 every single day, because you're going to be making so much money from dividends that you do not have to reinvest it. Let's say we're going to invest for the next 30 years and see how fast we get there. And this is the thing, guys, when we're looking at the expected returns, usually yield max companies, they lose value over time. So they don't really grow. If it's at $53 today, next year it might be at $55, maybe $54, and it could be even lower than $53, because a lot of investors are expecting their returns back in dividends other than the growth of the company. So let's just put 1% right here. And then the annual dividend growth, this company hasn't been around for 5 years, but usually this might not grow at all, or the dividend might not grow at all, or the dividend amount increase could actually lose per year. There's just not enough information. And that's what has me worried about these yield max companies, because there's just not enough information. And most of them have not been around for 5 years. In fact, none of them have been around for longer than 5 years. So it's not enough data for me. I'm gonna show you guys why I'm considering just sticking to SCHD, even though it might take a little longer. So let's hit calculate dividends, and there you go. Oh, in the next 30 years, you'll be bringing in the next 30 years from just $20 a day, you'll be bringing in over $250,000 per year in dividends, and you'll have an ending balance of 1.79%. Let's say to around $30,000 per year in dividends. It would take us 16 years to get us to $32,000 per year in dividends. Let's see if I can make that a little bigger. It would take us 16 years to get us to around $32,665.77 in dividends. And then let me show you guys the compound interest effect. From 16 years to 20, we almost doubled it. We went from $32,000 to $57,000. And then from 20 years to 30, we went from $57,000. And over the next 10 years, all the way up to $219,000 per year in dividends. And then we'll have a $1.69 million portfolio. Now, let me show you guys, if you do not reinvest your dividends, this is the trick. Other than taking your dividends and spending it on appliances, or taking your dividends and spending it on technology, or taking your dividends and spending it on vacation, but you reinvest those dividends right back inside the company that paid you those dividends, then you could grow a lot faster. So if we come back over here, drip, we decide not to reinvest our dividends. Remember, it only took us 16 years to get to around $30,000. And here it goes. Oh my goodness. So if we're not reinvesting our dividends, our ended balance would be $181,000. That is a lot different than having a $1.7 million account. And our annual dividends will only be $26,000 over the next 30 years. So over 30 years, we never reached the $30,000 per year in dividends just because we did not reinvest our dividends. And that is the biggest tip and trick, is to reinvest your dividends to use that compound interest effect. Now, let's come over to one of my favorite stocks, which is going to be SCHD. If we come over to my portfolio, guys, you can already see that I invest $20 every single day down here on my recurring investments on SCHD. And I have around 528 shares of SCHD. So let's see what I'm on track to do. So we're going to type in SCHD right here. We're going to come over to Seeking Alpha to get all of their information. So since SCHD has been around for so long, we have a lot more information. We could go to the 10 years. So of 10 years, we're averaging around 12.8% growth every single year on SCHD. So right here, we're going to type in 12.8%. And then let's look at the dividends. On dividends, we have a growth rate of 10.8% and we have a dividend yield of 3.71. So let's type in 3.71% and a growth rate of around 10%. And let's hit, and I'm investing $20 every single day. So that's $5,200. And then we're going to do it for the next 30 years. So yes, the dividends, yes, let's reinvest our dividends. So yes, the dividend yield is lower. So you guys should expect that it should take me longer to make money at dividends, but the growth of the shares is a lot higher at 12.8%. So let's go ahead and hit calculate returns. And there it goes. Other than having a $1.7 million account, I will have a $4 million account after the next 30 years. Yes, I would be making a lot less in dividends per year, but I would rather have a $4 million account than bringing in $200,000 a year and only having a $1.7 million account in value. So I would have a lot more value by having a $4 million account versus $71,000 in dividends. So let's go back out to year 16, because that's where we would have made $30,000. I would only be bringing in $12,000. And let's see where I would bring in my first $30,000. So it would take me 24 years other than 16 years. So yeah, guys, investing inside of SHD would take me an extra 8 years to get to $30,000. But when it's all said and done, I would have a bigger portfolio at $4 million. So let me know down in the comment section, would you rather have a higher dividend yield, double-digit dividend yield, and make a lot of money in dividends, but the growth of that ETF is very, very low, or could it lose money over time, or the value of that ETF could lose value over time? Or would you rather have a company, an ETF that's been around for a very long time, have a lot of data, has a higher growth rate, but a lower dividend yield? Which one would you rather invest into? I'm gonna ride with SCHD because I personally know how to sell my own covered calls. I personally know how to run the wheel strategy. I know how to do cash secure puts, rolling my options. I know how to do all that. So that's why me personally, I'm not investing inside of QQQ. I would rather invest inside of a proven company like SCHD and then do my own cover calls on my own stocks inside my own portfolio and create a lot more income than 13% a year. If you guys do want to learn that, make sure that you join the Patreon. If you want to even deeper dive on that, go follow me on my second channel, Dream Green Conversations. I'm going to leave that link down in the pinned comment section as well, down in the description. I only talk about the wheel strategy over there. So if you guys do want to check that out, that link is going to be down in the description. But you guys know I love my dividends. I'm going to ride with SCHD, keep those dividends coming. But if you do want to if you see QQQI at a good value, you could get in, collect some dividends for a couple of months, ride that wave, get out, and then as you're learning how to sell your own options, you could do it that way. A lot of people don't want to learn it, so they invest inside of QQQI to generate some income. But let me know which one is your favorite down in the description. If you made it to the end of this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that notification bell, hit that notification bell, because YouTube be tripping sometimes. I'm trying to make sure they ain't tripping on me. But I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining the Dream Green Show today. And as you guys know, scary money don't make no money. drop that down in the comment section as well. If you guys do want to pick up some free stocks of NVIDIA, Moomoo gave me a special link. I'm gonna leave a link to Moomoo down in the description. You click that, sign up just from using that platform. You could get up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock. Awesome offer. Please take full advantage of that. That link is gonna be down in the description as well. But in that, guys, I'm Zeke, bringing you the Dream Green Show. I'm out. Peace.
This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. All investments are by risk. Do your own research. This is not licensed financial advisor. Any third party considering falls under the fair use commentary and analysis. Please consult with a licensed financial advisor or professional in your area before making investment decisions.